Yeah, Allan Pease, of course, is Mr. Body Language. He's been around the traps for years and years and years and years. Not to say that you're old, Alan, but certainly when it comes to body language and all that sort of stuff that we talk about, how women interact with men, Mars, Venus, all that sort of stuff.
Coming to Perth too, isn't he?
You are the guy. And he's coming to Perth. Next week he'll be here for, I assume it's a seminar. Alan, welcome to the program.
Hey, what was the address on that sign again? Yeah, I'm coming next Friday up to Aquinas College.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be a great morning. We're going to put on a show on human communication and men and women differences, and it's put on by the school as a fundraiser, but they've got a huge crowd turning up there, very well organised out there.
Oh, fantastic. So what are some of the core issues there?
Well, between men and women?
Yeah.
Well, if you had to, I guess, nail it down to one, the biggest issue we've got is that we're hardwired differently from birth. And this is contrary to the politically correct belief that you're supposed to pretend that men and women are the same, because to say men and women are the same is a bit like pretending the weather's no longer hot or cold. It's now all the same weather.
Yes.
It's not true. It's very different. And if you had any experience with men and women, you know that's the difference. And the big difference is that we have different perceptions of the same thing. You want an example of this?
Go on.
Barbara says to me last night, true story, she says, "Hey, Darren, do you want to come upstairs and play around?" And I said, "Well, look, I'm just watching the election results and what's happening with Kevin Rudd." She said, really indignantly, she said, "You can film it, you know. You can record it." I said, "Okay, we'll take the camera upstairs. As soon as it's finished, I'll come up."
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom. Yeah, nice one.
You speak about that. What about the spill? Alan, you're the language expert in the body. How did you view that? I mean, Kevin Rudd's body language before and after, all that sort of thing?
Well, the interesting thing was when he came out of the caucus meeting, when they were talking about the fact that they're going to have the poll. Did you notice how he marched past everybody? It was almost like he was in the army. And this is a strategy we teach to high-profile people who are coming off a plane or off a helicopter, walking across the tarmac or walking in front of people where you want to be perceived that you're in charge, you're confident, you know what you're doing. And he went exactly into that march. And it's very rare you see him do that in the last 3 years, but he marched as though he was the captain.
Could that be perceived as arrogance or leadership?
Well, in his mind, it's definitely leadership. And if people who don't like him would perceive it as arrogance. People who like him would perceive it as the guy in charge.
Yeah, yeah. Now, you reckon that the three people who got sworn in by the Governor-General, of course, Kevin Rudd, his Deputy Prime Minister Albo, and his Treasurer, the three of them got signed. You reckon the body language was really interesting there when they were being signed in?
Well, it was. If you look at the replay, what Kevin Rudd did, he was like a kid in a candy shop when, as the Governor-General started to talk about the first signing, and he got right to the edge of his seat and he leant forward, almost like an athlete about to take off for a 100-metre run. Then he jumped up into the seat. When he sat down, he sat right on the edge of the seat in front of the Governor-General. He didn't sit back in the seat. And she indicated to him, did you notice this? She indicated for him to take a seat, and he thought she was going to shake hands.
So he's a little nervous too, wasn't he?
He did. He leapt across the table and he shook her hand, or he almost broke her hand off. He was so enthusiastic. Whereas Albo, when he approached, he was pretty nervous. He really was. He was always showing a lot of fear signals. He looked like he was smiling, but in fact, if you look at what happened with the smile, the corners of his mouth dropped back down. Now, when primates, monkeys, chimps, and humans drop the corner of the mouth down, it means that they're in a fearful situation. He did his jacket up, and he looked very, very nervous. And he held hands with himself in front of his zip. So he was pretty scared, pretty humbled by the whole thing. Whereas the Treasurer, he bounced up and he grabbed hold of the back of the seat he was supposed to. He was claiming that position. What he's saying is, "This is mine, honey. I'm in charge."
If I ever go for a drink with you, Alan, I am not moving my hands.
Yeah.
I am not moving my hands.
I don't do freebies.
Fine, you buy. Allan Pease, good to talk to you, and look forward to you coming to Perth, July 5, Aquinas College.